I enjoy spending time with you. You're not always taking from me. You do. You allow me for that. I'm not worried about being social. I found I'm not all that sincere sometimes. I mean, I know people consider me their best friend, but when I think about it, I realize, on the other hand, don't mean a whole hell of a lot to me. I guess that's because I'm pretty good at giving a certain amount of myself to other people. But compared to what looks, people just shout. I'm practically man's best friend. No kidding. Most people don't give a shit. So if you reach out a little bit to people, it makes them feel close to you. That's not always good though. Seems like everybody I come in contact with sees my strength or warmth or whatever the hell it is, and they flock around me, grab a hold like in a headlock or something. Seems like everybody wants to tell me their problems. I don't want to hear it. Why doesn't somebody listen to mine for a chance and now I've got a whole hell of a lot of them too? But no, it's like, give me this, tell me that, help me, hold me, talk to me. I don't need that shit. God, I have to take it. But no, it's like, give me, tell me that, help me, hold me, talk to me. I don't need that shit. I thought I had to take it. Like someone needed help and I could do it. But I thought someone needed my help and I could take it, then I could. The strong should help the weak, but somebody has got to help me. I can't. I've got to have somebody. That's why I suppose they always come to you. Nobody else will listen.
By the way, I'm going to have them slate, so that was Julian Cavalieri. Okay?
Can I say something? You know those people, the ones I put down, the people I killed? I want you to know that I do it all again. This is a circus, all right? It's a charade, it's an act. It's bullshit about how crazy I am. I ain't crazy. I know what I did. I know who I am. And I do not need your help. Smack dab in the middle of my right goddamn mind, any scumbag, any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit child killer that I put down, I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm sitting here, I'm itching to do it again. And what, you think you're gonna send me to some nut house? Some doctor's gonna get me to stop doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch. You people call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Well, here I am. You want it, you got it. I am the Punisher, and I'll give it to you. You want it, I'll give it to you. And anybody who came here today to hear me whine, to hear me beg, well, you can kiss my ass. You hear me? I'm guilty. I'm guilty, Judge. You hear me? I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Woo!
That was Nick Chavez II.
Oh my god.
Jamie, what are you doing here?
This is incredible. I'm sorry, I didn't thank you. It would be that you would be.
So exact.
Yes, it's amazing your face, your voice.
That happens a lot when originals see us for the first time. I remember how you reacted to the Schofields when they got their copy last Christmas.
Oh yeah, copy?
Clone.
Oh yeah, I remember the Schofields got one.
You're exactly as I remember you, Amy. Or at least they uploaded you.
I am?
Well, you are Robert's sister. They wouldn't leave something like that out. How could we get to know you?
Well, yeah.
Did Mom and Dad come with you?
No, I came alone.
Oh. Are you here to take me home? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked that.
No, that's okay. I'm here because I need to apologize for my parents. They haven't been themselves lately. On my way over here, I was going to tell you that after your counselor called, how hurt you were and they canceled the order.
Wait, she called me?
Yeah.
She didn't tell me that.
Well, I explained everything to her. How she said wanted to contact you and how,
But we didn't consider that clones have feelings.
right.
Most originals don't even consider that.
After I talked to the counselor, she realized Robert,
What about Robert? What happened?
it was an accident really. We all thought he was a pretty good swimmer. So my friend did what he could.
Wait, what are you saying?
Robert's dead, he drowned.
Nobody told me this?
No.
Why? Why didn't anybody come for me?
Because Mom and Dad were they were completely destroyed.
And they just forgot about me.
Yes.
Did anybody else call you about me?
Counselor Melissa?
Did you say Melissa?
Yeah, she really made a case for you, how wonderful you are. It really impressed me how she knew you so well.
Yeah, Counselor Melissa and I are very close. When exactly did she call you?
It was 2 days ago.
So that's why we're in cottage and
What?
nothing. I know he never showed it very often, but he really cared about you too.
He did?
Remember that time you thought you lost your class ring and then you found it a month later?
Yes, you know about that? And yes, you would.
It wasn't the actual ring he found. He bought a new one. You were so upset about it, so he used his savings and bought it without anyone knowing. It was worth every penny just seeing the look on your face when he handed it to you.
I never knew that.
Maybe I should have told you.
No, I'm so glad you did.
So what's gonna happen now?
We need you with us.
You want me to live with you?
Yes, not just want me. If I can get Mom and Dad to come here and talk with you, they can feel the same way I do.
I was created from Robert to help him, not to replace him.
I'm not asking to do that in either or they. If I can convince them that,
So I have to leave. Absolutely, I'm willing to wait. But you're gonna have to tell the people here that you're rescinding the cancel order. That'll make them keep me around here until you're ready to take me home.
it's a miracle. It's like Robert knew he wouldn't be around, so he asked you.
Gianna Palermo and Michael Guerrero.
He was dying all over again, and I couldn't do a damn thing to stop it.
was fucking horrible. We were all there. He was just laying in bed and staring right at me. I asked him what was wrong, and he started looking down, and my eyes followed him, and just realized that his entire crotch was soaked in blood, and I was horrified. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything. I was nauseous. We were all there, and his buddies from Alaska came in the room. They picked up his bed, and they took him out, and I just tried to scream for him. I tried to ask his name. I called for him, and I couldn't even make a sound. I couldn't make a sound. And then the buddies come back into the room, and I know what they're going to say, and I just started crying uncontrollably. It's so weird, right? Anyway, so I smoke a joint, I get myself fucking high, and I'm just trying to gather some memories, anything at all, just so I could store them up here forever or for just a minute, and I just can't remember anything. I wish I did, but I can't. I do remember this one time he was standing in the bathroom naked and standing in front of the mirror, and I'm kind of peeking behind the door, and I see him with this bowl and this brush, and he's putting this white pillowy stuff on his face. I didn't know what it was, and I just thought that he looked hysterical. So I kind of snuck up behind him, and I smacked him on the ass, and he was so pissed. He was shaving with the straight razor, but I was a little kid. How was I supposed to know? And then he yelled at me. And then 2 seconds later, he picks me up over his shoulder. He's telling me these stories. We're running around the house, and it was just so great. It was really great. You know, I think that that's the only memory that I have of Dad before he left.
Michael Patrick Dowd, that one.
Hi everybody, my name is Dominique Langell, and my monologue is about a woman, a writer who's nearing her 30s, and who's become increasingly disappointed at where she's at in her career at this point in her life and trying to decide what's next. So I hope you enjoy. Maybe I should just pack up and move to the Midwest or something. Marry a farmer, have a kid, run a little community theater. I can't take too much more of this. And one thing that I can do without is everybody telling me that I can't give up the novel or the screenplay or anything. It's just that... Jesus. I'm scared. I'm scared of finishing anything, of putting it all down. I take out a sheet of paper and I look at it. I go to pick up a pencil and my fingers won't grasp it, but if I do manage to hold on to it for just a couple seconds, my arms freeze and my stomach turns over. But I sit there for a few minutes, maybe have a glass of wine, a couple 100 cigarettes, but I still can't write. But I fill the page up with drawings, with doodles, sentences even, but no story, no complete thought. I'm afraid that if I put it all down, then there won't be anything left. I won't have anything left. Instead, I sit here waiting for something else. Sometimes I feel like I've made all the wrong career decisions for the past 10 years. I mean, maybe I did make the wrong career decision. If I had said to myself 10 years ago, if I had said to my friends that I wanted to get married and have babies, they would have me put away. I would have had me put away. I used to think to myself, hey, I'm liberated. I can do anything. But I guess I never thought that anything meant I could live on a farm if I wanted to.
Delightful mind blunder, I apologize.
I'm Don Shearer. My monologue's from Season of the Mist. It's about not getting job satisfaction. And the mortals. I ask you, why? Why do they blame me for all their little failings? They use my name as though I spend my entire day sitting on their shoulder, forcing them to commit acts that they would otherwise find repugnant. Ooh, the devil made me do it. I never made one of them do anything. Never. Oh, and then they die. And they come here. Having transgressed against what they believe to be good, and they expect me to fulfill their desire for pain and retribution. I don't make them come here. They talk of me going about buying souls, like a fishwife come market day, never stopping to ask themselves, why? I need no souls. How can anyone own a soul? No. They belong to themselves. They just hate to have to face up to it.
Please rest yourself. Wait, don't go, please. I visited Teddy today, St. Vincent's. It's very depressing. He's lying there in bed out of it. He's been out of it since the time we saw him. He's not in any pain. He's snorting his imaginary cocaine, his poppers. Sometimes he's watching his mother's sport and he's speaking to her in Spanish. Sometimes he's having sex. You can see him having sex right in front of you. He doesn't even know you're there. Jimmy died, as you must have heard. Went out to San Francisco to be with him the last few weeks. I swear to that too. He was in a coma for a month. Everybody wanted to pull the plug, but they were afraid of legal complications. I held his hand. He couldn't talk, but I could see his eyelids flutter. I swear he knew I was with him. Harry has KS and Matt has trouble breathing. He went for tests today. I haven't slept well for weeks. Every morning I examine my body for swellings, marks. I'm terrified of every pimple, every rash, even though I've tested negative. If I cough, I think of Teddy. I wish he would die. He is dead. He might as well be. Why can't he die? I feel the disease closing in on me. All my activities are life and death. Keep up my Blue Cross, up my reps, eat my vegetables. Sometimes I'm so scared to go back on my resolutions. I drink too much, and I smoke a joint, and I find myself at the bars and clubs where I stand around and watch. They remind me of accounts of Europe during the Black Plague, groping in the dark, dance until you drop. The new wave is the corpse look. I'm very frightened and I miss you. Just say something, damn it!
Is everyone tired of excuses? I know I am. The most hopelessly inadequate excuse in English language is I'm sorry. In French, je suis désolé. In Spanish, lo siento. But regardless of the language, it all translates to the same thing. Tough shit. Like when you call the phone company and you get the message, we're sorry, your phone is temporarily out of order. What they're saying is, tough shit, your phone's not working, and we'll turn it on when we call. And God forbid the boyfriend learns the phrase. You're like, I'm sorry it's coming out of your ears. I'm sorry I couldn't call. I'm sorry I couldn't come over. I'm sorry I had to work late. I'm sorry I got stuck at the office. I'm sorry I'm not feeling well. I'm sorry I'm tired. I'm sorry but the football game is on. I'm sorry I know you want to see me, but I'm exhausted. I'm sorry I'm breathing. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I hate sorries. I'm sick and tired of sorries. Because what it begins to mean is, yes, I know I've disappointed you, but I'm not going to do anything about it. And yes, I know I've upset you, and it's my fault, but I don't feel like dealing with it right now. I will simply not exert any energy to correct the situation. I'm sorry, tough shit. And to top it all off, when they say, please, I'm sorry I'm 6 hours late, they want you to feel sorry for them, because they've had such a difficult time getting their shit together, and it's their own fault. Now, I know there are occasions where circumstances beyond one's control. And on those occasions, it is appropriate, no, mandatory to apologize for inconveniencing another. But people have so abused I'm sorry. It's gotten to the point where it has about as much meaning as that other popular phrase, I love you. You say I sound angry? Yes, I sound angry. And guess what? Tough shit, I am angry. And you should be too.
I was born in the poor section of Brooklyn. My parents were at each other's throats most of the time. It was a miserable childhood. Had no brothers and sisters. It was just the three of us living in this old, run-down house with the cats crying and screaming all night in the alley. When my parents ever got married, I don't know. Why they stayed together as long as they did, I don't know that either. They're separated now. But it doesn't much matter. They were as unlike as any two people could be. I mean, all my father wanted to do was be left alone to smoke his pipe and listen to the radio. And my mother, she was a pretty woman. She knew how to dress and, all right, she had to go out and enjoy herself. And I was stuck between the two of them and they pulled on both sides. I couldn't touch or kiss one of them without being afraid that the other would see me and they would start a fight. I had to grow up wishing for a miracle. You know, I remember coming home from school one afternoon, I used to be 12 or 13. And there was this man in the living room with my mother. They weren't doing anything, they were just sitting and talking, but I felt something was going on. I seemed to stop breathing. I ran out of the house and I threw up on the curbstone. Later on, I swore to myself that I'd make a miracle happen. That I wouldn't have to be where I didn't want to be, and I didn't have to do what I didn't want to do, that I could be myself without being afraid. But it's rough. With a background like mine, you're always trying to catch up. It's as if you were born 2 steps behind the next fellow. someone accusing me of deconstructing the race problem in America. I even tried writing a play about talking farm animals once, just to avoid talking about people. And this literary manager was like, oh my God, you're totally deconstructing African folktales. And I was like, no, I'm just writing a play about talking farm animals. And she's like, no, 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 you're totally deconstructing African folktales. That's totally what you're doing. And I was like, bitch, I'm not fucking deconstructing any fucking African fucking folktales. I'm writing a fucking play about my issues with substance abuse. Then I'm attributing the dialogue to a fucking fox and a fucking rabbit to protect our identities. Fuck you. Give me a fucking break. And by break, I mean production.
Okay, here goes. I'm gonna be in a Broadway show. It's a musical called Abracadabra. This man, Mr. Beckman, he's a producer. Came to our dancing class this afternoon and he picked out 3 girls. We have to be at the Hudson Theater at 10 a.m. on Monday morning to audition for the dance director. But on the way out, he pulled me aside and said the job was good as mine. I have to call him tomorrow. I may have to go into town and talk to him about it. We start rehearsing a week from Monday, and then it goes to Philadelphia, Wilmington, and Washington. And then it comes to New York City the 2nd week in December. There are 9 big musical numbers, and there's going to be a big tank on stage you can see through. And the big finale all takes place with the entire cast all underwater. I mean, can you believe it? I'm going to be in a Broadway show, Mama!
For the life of me, I can't understand this. But I have to. I need to. She was ours, Tom. She was yours and mine. And I feel so dead inside. Dead and empty. And sometimes I can barely breathe. And it's in my head, it's in my chest, it's in my lungs. And it all gets tighter and tighter. And I just want it all to stop. I want it all to go away. And just let me die. Let me out of this. And then I see you. You with all your calmness, your acceptance, and your forgiveness. And I hate you. I thought, after all those years together that we, and then this happens, and it's like I never knew you. Not the real one. You live in a completely different world from me. You are somewhere else entirely. It's like it all washed over you somehow. Like you're not a part of it. But I can't escape it. It's around me all the time. And sometimes it's too much. I can't stand it. And I want it all to go away and never think of her again. Just not think of her. Like she never existed. If I could just erase her somehow. I know it's wrong. I know I shouldn't. But it would just be so much easier. I could be me again. But I can't. I can't escape it. Every single day that I wake up, every room I walk into, all that I do reminds me of her. Everything here reminds me of her. Except
There were 2 people missing at that funeral, George. You and Jake. Standing around looking at strangers, fans, aging groupies. Some woman threw her panties at the grave, George. And I thought it was a fucking parachute. Looking around at these faces. This fucking old sleaze agent, the teenage girl that I know, he was fucking 3 nights a week. And my mom and you weren't there. The 2 who understood what this fucking death was about, and the one who died and could decipher the death's meaning, were completely fucking absent. You're his guitarist. Decipher. Figure it out. What does it mean? I don't know. My father helped me. Put your lapel up or down and figure it out. That's what I mean, George. My dad was more than an asshole, George, right? Wasn't he? And I tell you I love you because I want to love you, and I don't know why or what it means either. Do you? Please say something. Please. What makes you different from him? No. I claimed blood on the carpet, George. I just got down and started doing it. I can't do that again, you know? Jake's last album was 10 years ago. When was yours? How long until you're staring down the barrel of a gun, huh? I changed my mind. I don't want to understand any of it.